Last couple weeks haven't made a video, haven't really been doing a lot. I've been traveling a bunch for work. I have a 50-mile race, the Belmonte Endurance 50, right around 6 weeks from today. I've been slacking a little bit, and honestly, I know it's my fault. I've kind of hit that point where I'm sort of intimidated by these training numbers. One thing I will share though, I remember before I got to the point where I could run 10 miles or 15 miles or 20 miles, I thought that it would eventually be like running 5 miles or 8 miles, where you kind of get a little more used to it. It's not super hard every time. I'll be honest, 18 miles or 22 miles or 26 miles, that's still a really long way to run. I think regardless of your fitness, I think it's natural. You're always going to push yourself right to that limit. So it's always hard. I've never gone out on an 18 miler or a 22 miler and thought it was easy. Some of them are definitely better than others. You get better at it, absolutely. The very first time you do it, it is really, really hard, but you're still running 20 miles, and that's a long way to move your body. Today, we're gonna get something like probably in the 5 to 10 range on some trails. Just get out there, try to refocus the brain and get back into a better, consistent mental place so that I can really lock down these next 6 weeks. Today is really hard. I tell you, it really doesn't matter how fit you are or you aren't. There's always really good days. There's always really hard days. Today is one of those really hard days. A lot of day hikers up here today, which is awesome. Head down the stairs, hit up the flat trail that runs kind of around the mountain. This is where I come to get the elevation, but it's that trail that you actually get the distance. So let's go hit that up. I don't know, I took a little more nutrition, got a nice descent, not dying right now, feeling better. One thing I have absolutely learned, no matter how good or bad you feel, it can always change. Holy crap, look at this view behind me. It's total sun behind me. But it reminds me a lot of the Smoky Mountains out here in the East Coast. So I've been waiting for a while to tell the story because I wasn't quite sure when to do it, but I think now's a good time. So over the past couple weeks, I've got to hang out with two really impressive people, three really. Evan Austin, US Paralympic swimmer, and Brent and Kyle Peace. Brent and Kyle, obviously with the Kyle Peace Foundation, is an organization that my organization, which is the Ability Experience, partners with. So got to hang out and talk to them both quite a lot. And really the big theme, I mean, I'm summing up way too much and I don't want to put words in their mouth, but one of the really, really big themes that both of those guys talk to me a lot about is ultimately you're in control. Like, we all have limits. Some people have more limits than other people. Evan and Kyle have a lot more limits than I do. But Evan and Kyle have done a lot of things that I have never done and probably will never do. And the big theme that I always hear from those guys is you're the one in control. Kyle said to me, quote, "The only person stopping you from achieving your goal is you." When someone with spastic paraplegia says that the only person stopping you from achieving your goal is you kind of have to pay attention a little bit, I think. So days like today, where my friends bail on me, way easier to sit inside, watch Netflix, eat food I shouldn't, and waste a bunch of time. But the interesting things happen when you actually push yourself and do the things that you have control over. I firmly believe that almost none of us ever reach our real potential, and the goal is to come as close to it as possible. I had somebody ask me what kind of music I listen to when I run, and when I'm treadmill running, it used to be a lot of, bubblegum pop, hype, rock, high intensity, all that kind of stuff. I found when I'm trail running, I actually like a lot more slower acoustic stuff that really lets me zone out and focus, which is counterintuitive, but it's the case. Lately I've been listening to a lot of Death Cab for Cutie. The lead singer, Ben Gibbard, is actually a runner himself, and he paced Brian Morrison in the Western States 100. I don't know if it's because I know Ben Gibbard is a runner and therefore his music feels like good running music to me, but one way or another, man, just another couple 100 feet up this, and then down to the finish. So about 7.5 miles in about an hour 35. I paused my watch accidentally at one point, so the numbers might be off a little bit. Not the best run I've ever had, but not the worst run I've ever had. And more importantly, I got out and I got a few miles in on a day I could have stayed home. All right, Sunday. I've got a video coming out here in a little bit, basically talking about the biggest mistakes I made leading up to Ironman. And one of those was just not eating enough, just chronic under fueling. Today I basically failed another run, set out to do something like 12, 15, 18 miles, ended up doing like 12.x something. I don't know, just feel like I've basically been failing a lot of runs lately, a lot of workouts, just not feeling like I'm getting it done. If I had to attribute it to anything right now, I think it's food, fueling, sleep, taking care of myself outside of running. Just been bad at that. A lot of work travel got in the way. Ultimately, a bunch of excuses, but what it comes down to is I haven't been doing a good job. I'm gonna try to kick my own ass next Sunday. Don't wanna reveal it yet, but I'm pretty confident that it's gonna be a fun one. I hope your guys' workouts are going better than mine. You know, a lot of people out there are gonna show you every week just better than the last. The reality is, at least for me, that's not the case. That's never been the case, and I don't think it's the case for most people. So, yep, one shitty week down the drain, but we're getting back on it. I'm feeling confident in next week, and I think you guys are gonna like it. All right, have a great week. I'll see you guys next weekend. Bye.